Shut up. So we had a nice time over the last so many thousands of years. Seeing what it felt like to be selfish. And I say we lightly, I'm just talking about the majority. Like, we can look back over all the civilizations that fell and the outcomes and compare them with other civilizations and see the pattern. That's easy. And deeper than that, if your mind is not already on the subsequent ending of that, knowing that to be a energy that took care of certain types of people to allow that pretense to continue, have a continuance in each civilization. It was like they looked at it like everything that took place in those civilizations allowed those civilizations to be. So if we want to at least get to a civilization, we got to play these particular roles. That's kind of how I saw it. And they were just repeating the same processes over and over and over because they don't know shit. So with that, the ending ended up being the same because of allowance and integrity base. So the integrity of what it took to build civilizations was based off the same thing, so they fell the same way. And they haven't looked at that. They haven't looked at that as an ideal, I don't believe, because they get immersed into these values and you see the spiritual energy of old, in different characters embody people because the roles that they played, the focus energy that they're spending their focus on, so they play those roles. And then you see a rise and a fall constantly, and that rise and that fall is only, that's why they get the term 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. It's like every time it looks like it's going in the right direction, that fall is coming, and that's like walking down the stairs slowly. That's like going down slowly. So now with that understanding, and just apply that to your life, or how you see it from a perception of value coming or going. Because you came in and didn't have understandings, you had to learn certain shit that put you right on the conveyor belt to go in that direction regardless. Like, you gotta kind of look at that and see that and comprehend that as a thing. Now, people like to say, however, when engaging in your light frequency and you're taking the class of divinity and you start doing things that are right, opposed to what you think they are. And what I mean by right, and I'm not talking about right and wrong, I'm talking about, because right and wrong is the way of the world. We deal in duality. But the way of the divine is not that. And it has nothing to do with the physical application, only the acts that you do. So you give a certain level of love with a divine compassion. And I tested it out. I tested it out a few times. I've given love to people randomly in certain circumstances and dropped my energy down to as if I'm about to love that person, but then I specify it for the circumstance and give that genuine, and it's something you can tap into, but it can't be something you think, I'm just going to do it. No, you have to literally like shift your body in the motions of what it would feel like if you was given, like, so. And the effect is powerful. They automatically think, they're like, yo, you coming on to me? And I'm just genuinely, I don't want anything from you, just genuinely want to give you that as a value of support. And testing that out, and seeing what it is and being able to give that same genuine love to other people without receival. It's a powerful weapon. It's so powerful. It is the walk of true love. This is why you have to learn what unconditional love is. But don't let me get off topic. The point is, if you're going through the classes that divine has for you and you're following your first thought and you're doing the little nuances that you're like, why am I doing this? Like, you might have to move a cup 3 inches to the left because you was told to, and that's the first thing popped in your head. Do it. The faster you get past that, the quicker you can open up what's really going to take place and start going through those. Now, keep in mind, the difference is divine knowledge is infinite. It don't never end. You know what I'm saying? So the faster you jump over the hurdles of life that's keeping you away from focusing on that, you get an endless amount of knowledge or access to. So the opposite is only learning off of your mistakes and what people say. So their problem is the world is getting congested with more people on the value of the destruction, so they're not getting the opportunity to learn the dynamics of the higher vibrations. This is what their problem is on the other side right now. You know what I'm saying? So they start looking towards the ones who are embodying the divine energy and play roles like that. And it's kind of like they like it because they miss that energy. They miss that true knowledge. They miss that true presence, that true existence. And you have to embody that just to be on the pathway. But the point is, you get an opportunity to have access to everything that's over there because that's where the knowledge is. So you already know how to be bad. You already know how to be the baddest motherfucker on the earth. You already know how to play somebody. You already know how to snap back. You already know how to get this and get that. You already know how to lace up and cock this back, and you already know how to do all that. You already know. You've been there already. What's stopping you from learning the light? That's a whole nother dynamic in life, and there's so many dynamics to get there. Like, we don't have to sit down and destroy religion, because if you following it on from where you are, if you're following it and just don't give a damn what religion it is, if you're following it and you're doing it authentic, then it's going to lead you to a light that you're going to embody. That's really what the religions were supposed to do, but they got them shits like obstacles right now. They got them with all types of people, understandings, and the way somebody feel, and their passion, and their podium, and all this other shit. They got so many things going on, and how this look, and this robe, and this staff. They got all this shit just to make sure it veers off your focus to the actual point. So while your focus is off of the actual point, you don't get an opportunity, and this is why so many failed attempts in religion. It's more failed attempts than it is successful attempts of rising an individual to a pretense. And nothing is forever. Nothing is supposed to be what you hold on to as a value. Just like you don't hold on to kindergarten, first grade, you go by grades. Everything in life is the same way. Like if you go to a religion, you're supposed to gain the proper light energy because it drawed you for some reason. So it could have drawed you for the wrong reason, for a dark energy, or it could have drawed you for a light energy. Depending on how you come up in there, you got to be yourself. You got to be the one that tell yourself what that is. And if you're going to lie to yourself, then that speaks to a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, so understanding that the Almighty is above all things. It don't even matter. Like, the Almighty don't contend for none of them shits. But if they going to sit there and give you the right energy to get where you got to go, that's like a gas station. Let me charge you up so you can at least understand the point of all of this. But see, that's the whole point. They make it in confusion. And when confusion is available, then you know you're dealing with something that wants to be combative. Confusion, because that's what confusion brings. It brings compatibility. Not being compatible. Compatibility. When you have a point of view that you want to go against the natural, there's nothing that can go against the Almighty. It's not a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's not a conversation. A fish will be a fish until it dies or get caught on a hook. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain laws that exist that are based off that as a value. It's certain things that happen that don't need nobody's help. It just happens. Normal shit that you see every day. You know what I'm saying? And that be a reality that most people let go past them, and those are like the finite lessons of understanding divinity. So all of that is, those are accesses and strings that sit in divine placements that didn't ride with combated against the divine energy in itself. So it didn't go against it. It didn't say, oh, I feel like this. No, it didn't do that. And there's so much more knowledge within those aspects of reality. Those are stairs. And depending on how well you transcend your actual physical body in that understanding, your first thought, and it's crazy because the other energies that's on both sides, dark energies and light energies that want to pull you in different directions because of what you have inside of you. They can see the particular level of light that's more balanced or imbalanced inside of you, whether you have more darkness in you. Or, so you get these options by that as a circumstance. So shit'll pop up in front of you because you might have just a little bit of light left and it's trying to help you, and you so dark, you know what I'm saying? You done checked out and went over the line, and then that shit closed off, and then you like, I don't got nothing. Ain't nothing, I don't feel nothing. I don't know what that feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see what y'all talking about. And then you got some people that's been fighting it, and they've been knocking chunks of dark out of them, and they got portions of light just like cracking out of them and shit, you know what I'm saying? Then an opportunity will come, you know what I'm saying? And they get the opportunity to knock a big chunk off, and then the help come, you know what I'm saying? They start chipping away at all the other shit for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different variations that come with that. And what that means, you're in relationship with spiritual beings on that side. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why, I'm not taking away from certain things, but I am. I'm always taking what people use and giving it to the divine, because there is only one way. And once you understand how that energy coincides with everything else, and how it's like, if you can think about it like, say 9 circles, right? And the 9 circles each had 5 notches in them, right? And there are 9 circles inside each other, but one is spinning that way, one is spinning this way, the other one's spinning that way, the other one's spinning that, all the way down to the center. And it's a light, right? It's a light that's trying to get through, but it can only get through where the notches at. The notches that the grooves are cut out at. So it shines only through those grooves as it's spinning. So as it's spinning, like, certain parts are getting hit and certain parts ain't. And then at one particular time, all the notches might line up. You know what I'm saying? And then you get a straight line of energy that hits all the way down to the center of it. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of gives an opportunity to birth purity. That takes place, and that's what it looks like in some sense with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not all getting the energy like it's supposed to, because it's blocking off a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's that cipher. Some people moving this way, some people moving that way. But you get that relationship, you get to be able to be a part of that pantheon, because that's where you're going to access that knowledge from. You know how to be a demon, you know how to be on demon time and all that. Like, y'all did all that. Y'all be doing it with lesser knowledge. But I see people striving to get and want to be in a place to where they can speak truth. You can't get that in a demon outfit. You can't, like, this ain't cartoons. You can't just merge 2 things because you want to. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not an elixir or a power that's going to have it happen. They got stories like that. Like, I seen this joint with a vampire woman wanted to mate with the an old giant. You know what I'm saying? The old giant was from the beginning, so they dealt in a different type of magic. So she had to do, like, her body was small. There was no way in the hell she could lay down with a giant. You know what I'm saying? She was small, so she had to do, like, a spell with the mountain spirit, and then drink an elixir that made her body grow big enough to even mate with him. And they had to do like a ritual and all this crazy shit to bring the baby into existence. And I'm like, that's what they want. They want to merge. That's why people see, the thing about stories is it's always inlaid deeper. Like, people think their imagination is 100% theirs. That depends on where your focus at. Because if you're trying to create horror stories and shit like that, sometimes I say 90% of the time it's influenced by another energy that's giving you inspiration, and that energy is close to you. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's allowing you to depict a story of that value. You know what I'm saying? And in your mind, you start bringing that to fruition. You always got to have a gas tank to charge something. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you got to be mindful of your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't comprehend what the words was saying. And some people was being slick when they was creating some of the religious books, because they would take them, and it was like a battle between light and dark at that point, even when they was writing it. You got the dark ones putting their points of view in it, and the light ones had to put their points of view in it because they was all one coalition. And they couldn't expose the fact that they was dark or they was light, because they was in one group. That would expose the energies behind them, so they had to keep it a secret. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where you get these movies from, yo. Like, this shit be crazy to me. I be sitting back laughing. I be like, yo, they plans be weak as shit. They don't got nothing. Like, but it ain't too many people I've ever ran across that can really see. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say they see, but that's why I be like, people don't ask me the right questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know what I know. I be like, yo, I see everything, yo. It should be crazy to me. And you ain't even gotta be there to see shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like nasty multiplication. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just know how people move. You know what I'm saying? And you know what they're gonna do by the motion, and you can't stop it. They can't stop it. They can say, I'm gonna move this way and it'll change it up. Nah, it don't work like that. It's your frequency. And once you understand that, the world did everybody a disservice by telling their stories the way they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it kind of lays everything out for you, and you can follow that shit all the way back to the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit be crazy, but one thing I'm saying is, if you know what I'm saying, like, if you willing to learn and you want to learn, you know what I'm saying? Because your path, like, yo, and not for nothing, like, it's so many things I could say right now, and I want to say, we just went through that whole little loop. It's 18 minutes on the dot, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been cooking, and it don't even seem like it. It seemed like it was shorter, like that 12 minutes yesterday, like that 10, that 7. It seemed like it was that amount of time, you know what I'm saying? But it's 18, we almost on 20, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy right there. Like, anyway, I'm just saying, yo, like, you get an opportunity to go into a real class, and people be focused on the human aspect of things. That's why you miss out on what the gift is. You know what I'm saying? A prophet is what you gain. You know what I'm saying? And they love changing shit up. They love putting something on this side that's supposed to be on that side. Like, they love switching things up. 33 and 43. People keep switching it up. You know what I'm saying? Because 4 and 3 is a 7. 3 and 3 is a 6. You know what I'm saying? That's how they brought you into the 666. This, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But 4 and 3 is 7. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't 33 years, it was 43 years, but they're not gonna ever tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he really started getting into his itch, you know what I'm saying? But don't have me get deeper into that right now. That's not even the point. But like I'm saying, it opens up for you if you sincerely do it. And you can't say you want good for bad. It'll never work. And you got to understand that everything you do is failing. Once you comprehend that and don't take it personal, like, yeah, everything I do, I fail. Even though, yeah, that came out good. That's you boosting your own ego. But just imagine this. Anything you ever did, say, yo, Divine would have did that better. Divine always will do what you think how it's supposed to have came out, would have did it perfect. And you don't know what perfection is. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can be settled. If you want to settle for life, that's you. You're going to go through life 1,000,001 times trying to figure this shit out because you keep settling. But if you get to the point to where you say, in my creational aspect of who I am as a person, I'm imperfect. I bleed. I age. I go through things in life like I need to be this way in order to be healthy. I need to change my life in order to do this. These circumstances fit a value, and that's just the universe itself telling you, like, look, even, and look at the people who even do everything they need to do to be super healthy. They still age. They still get decrepit and shit like that. They still go through breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? So that only thing I'm saying is the Almighty is showing you that don't matter what you do, you can be good at it. You could be damn near almost to the point to where you think you fix something. But if you let me do it for you, you won't have no problems. You won't have no issues. And that's what we fighting. We fighting against that as a value, trying to be somebody who can create the understanding of living and show people what that is. That's why you always got to tell somebody something. That's why everybody always runs to the world like, yo, look, this is what it is. I'm not trying to show you nothing. My ear's ringing right now. I ain't trying to show you nothing. I'm trying to bring you to where your light that's inside of you is. Where that light is, if you follow that tether with that light connected to you and you follow the information where that's coming from, your soul, where it's coming from, you get a whole nother dynamic of living. You get a whole nother understanding, yo. You know what I'm saying? And you get to grow in a whole nother way. It's like, because that's sustaining. Your soul is what sustains you. So it'll be imperative to choose that school. You know what I'm saying? Your flesh, that came after. Your soul came, and then your mother and your father's connection created the body around you. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you got to understand. The light inside of you is who you are. What gives you life is who you are. If you don't go and use that to subsidize your life, then you're going to lose it. And then it's going to take that light and put it in another one and let it come up that way and see if it can figure out that it's connected to something. That's that unconditional love. Like, all right, I'll let you kill yourself. I'll let you destroy yourself. But then you'll come back again and have to fight this over worse by the actions that you apply. Because keep in mind, you storing information on that light. Eventually, that light can get cut off from everything, depending on what you do with it. You can damage that light so much that it don't work no more. That be the real shit. You be playing around with their life like that shit cute. I be like, yeah, all right. It's a whole bigger picture, yo. It's way bigger than what you think. And yeah, the divine is strong. Yeah, the Almighty love all pieces of it. But that light, just like if you shine in the light as far as you can shine it, eventually that light ain't gonna be able to stretch but so far. It's only gonna get, and I can keep going past that to where I'm in the dark now. So that means that light dissipated at its distance. And that's what happens. You can stretch yourself out so far as a person. You can stretch yourself out so far doing so much traveling outward away from the light to where you dissipate. And that's where the darkness comes in at. People keep looking at the darkness like it's a thing. No, it's the nothing. And that's the only word we got for it. It's the nothing. Yeah, they talk about dark matter and all that shit, but that's not the same as darkness. It's nothing. It's where nothing exists. It's where the light has to go to bring forth existence. That's why it's a representation in yin and yang. People keep saying, oh, that's this. No, what you're doing is you're creating another thing. Negative energy. That's something completely different. That's a world. So you're creating that. You're adding to it by your actions. It'll never be in comparison to the divine. It's a frequency of it. That's why it's stupid. It's like the difference in between playing on the monkey bars and playing in the sandbox. That shit at the park. That park is on a block. That block is on the street. That street is in the city. That city is in that's in a town. That town is in a city. That city is in a state. That state is in a country. That country, you know what I'm saying, is on a continent. That continent is on a planet. You get what I'm saying? So negativity is like that in the frequency of life. It'll never meet. the value. It's something that's gonna actually, it's like a fad. It's a long running fad. Whether you understand it or not, because intelligence don't play like that. Intelligence is not based off emotions. It's based off what you see right in front of you, what you actually can comprehend what's going on. Not, I see it, but it ain't that. Like, that shit's stupid. That's what I'm saying, it's dumb. Scheming and all that shit is dumb. That's apartheid too. Like, one thing got nothing to do with the next. But y'all gonna keep playing with yourself. Like, you gonna keep doing it that way and think that shit gonna reign supreme. Like, alright. You showing the overall consciousness of all things. You don't got a place in it. So when you holding on to other ways, that's like saying the savage man running around, with a loincloth on, like a piece of an animal over his Johnson wrapped around his waist, and he ain't got no clothes on. He's barefoot, and he got a tree branch that he done stuck lion teeth in. You know what I'm saying? And he used that as a weapon. He running around the street. He can't talk, like but he in this time. You know what I'm saying? And he just busting motherfuckers across their head, like, and don't even know what a police is. Like, police shoot him. His skin thick. Shit don't do nothing but scratch him. You know what I'm saying? He done beat the car up, like, bang. I'll be like, yo, we gotta do something with him. Why you can't run around the streets like that? Because ain't nobody ready for that type of smoke. You don't come from that time right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that was a time. I'm just giving you an example. So time delegates agenda. So that's where it's going. That's how it looks when it comes to conscious understanding. You know what I'm saying? The consciousness gets to graduate. You know what I'm saying? The bodies become leftover material that gets refiltered. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got sand and earth and all that, and then that shit comes up and it be the material that your parents and they eat that through the food. And then that nourishes the new life to the baby, and then you give birth to the baby. That's why they say we come from clay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the breakdown. It's what's left behind, but that consciousness graduates. So if the mind is strong enough, it can go to a higher level. That's you working that while you here right now. So now, if your only contentment to life was how well you manipulated, you think you going to where more consciousness is? They don't manipulate up there. That shit ain't even a thing. You think you're gonna go to the higher levels and be the baddest, meanest person? That's not a thing up there. That consciousness don't exist there. That's not there. It's a higher frequency. You know how you know? Because a higher frequency deliberates that here when you separate from the middle value of what is innate here. So if you can do that in this level, in this plane of existence, the next plane of existence, what you're fighting don't exist. It's another understanding. So it's like saying I'm so far into divine energy at this point, the imbalance would be the lesser divine energy and greater divine energy. It doesn't speak to, oh, I was the gangster in heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying heaven because people say that in between this and that. You know what I'm saying? But the higher levels, it's dimensions. Because knowledge is infinite. You know what I'm saying? And where your consciousness can be relevant in the time of existence now, it'll place it where it's supposed to go on the next level. That depends on how well you absorbing the information. That depends on how well you work in your physical body. Like, how well are you serving the higher understandings of your existence? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't deal in fear and nothing. Divine told you in this world, he's like, yo, you get nothing from the universe with fear. You afraid? Nah, you ain't ready for this side. You over there scary and shit. You talking about you afraid of this and afraid of that. You know what I'm saying? You already, that's basically your energy speaking out what you've already chose through your actions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's blatant. Like, it's two different sides. You gonna go down if you out here doing negative shit. It's an opposite energy. Listen, the negative force in the universe was the wave. And the reason why it was the wave is because it was going away from the force of energy that was pushing it. So as nothingness waved away from the light that came in, keep in mind, this is a giant energy. It's boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? It's like, boom. And it should just push everything. You know what I'm saying? So you see nothing move. That's how powerful it is. So it waves. So the heat from that and I'm only using the terms that we use, the electrical frequency of that, the divine power, burnt nothing. It burnt nothing and it made it rocks. Whatever you want to call it, like it was something rolling through the universe. And as that cooled down and coalesced, light hit it from the back. It penetrated it. Boom. And that's what gave life to things. You get what I'm saying? So this was eons, light years times a trillion light years before existence actually took a place. So now you got these beings or potential creations that are creating from the standpoint of what they have instilled in them now. This light that followed them, that wave that pushed, that energy that pushed and made the wave. So it's light like this that's traveling, and it's a wave of nothing.